First of all, I must say it's very interesting to see there are so many ladies in the room. It's the first conference I've ever been to where there has been so many ladies. I think I kind of come up with a test. I was sitting down there, I was thinking, because I know the demographics of my customers, and I was thinking, how many in this room have ever used a peer-to-peer platform system somehow? Okay. So how many ladies have used it? And can we rise again, the men? Okay, so that's a bit opposite of our demographic. So our demographic is actually 52% women. So, but anyway, that's good. Okay, anyway, my name is Jens Glaso. I'm the founder of Trustbuddy. I'm going to have a bit American approach. We started off the company in 2009. We have today approximately 400,000 customers in our system that uses the system on a daily basis. We have approximately 1.5 million transactions a month, and we started off with 20,000 crowns, which is similar to 2,000 pounds in 2010 when we launched the platform April. And we lent out the first year 2.5 million. We increased it up to 52.5 million the year after in 2011. And for those who have looked into Trustbuddy, you also maybe know that we are a public company, and we went public very early. And why did we go public in 2011? Because we wanted to be transparent to our customers. We wanted to be transparent to our lenders so they can look into our system and understand what we were doing. And also, when moving from 2.5 million to 52.5 million in a short year, there was a huge demand for capital being borrowed from our borrowers. Therefore, we needed to be transparent so our lenders could look into our platform and see what we were doing, see our numbers, kind of show everything so we could attract more capital. It was very early, but it was the right decision to do. So today, Trustbuddy has lent out 3 billion crowns or 300 million pounds since started in 2009. This 3 billion is now divided into the 10 markets where we operate. So we are a pan-European company. Out of this, I think you said approximately was 200 million lent out on crowdfunding platforms in Europe. I can tell you that the GVK or the Geld for Care, which is a Dutch company which we acquired last year, which also is the biggest crowdfunding company as far as we know, we lent out 53 million euros so far. So we're pretty big when it comes to numbers. When we started, we decided to go into or move into more than one market. The reason why we decided to move into more than one market was because we wanted to kind of scale our business. The platform is not rocket science at all. To run a peer-to-peer or to be a crowdfunding platform is not rocket science. But it's about how you do it. It's about how you do your support, how you do your routines. It's about every little detail in what you do in your daily business. That's what's important when it comes to peer-to-peer and crowdfunding. So we wanted to start off in more countries. So we started up in Sweden and Norway at the same time. This also had something to do with the regulation. I can talk more about that afterwards. But because of Norway is outside the EU, we decided to go for an EU company or country first and then move into Norway, but at the same time. Then we moved into Denmark, and then we moved into Finland, and so on. But the reason why we wanted to do this is because we know that Europe is not that big. It seems big, but it's not. So we wanted to move into more countries, to be present there, to understand the pattern of the people in the early stage. Because with the knowledge that we got in Scandinavia when we started off, with our 400,000 customers, with our 14 million data points that we have on a daily basis, that is based on social data, that is based on credit scoring, that is based on governmental data, we want to use this to learn the pattern also in other markets. So by using this data, by looking into this pattern, we actually will find the same pattern in all other markets as well. So the pattern we have in Scandinavia would pretty much be the same as you have here in Lithuania. So, yeah. When it comes to regulations, I think that we as a company has a huge responsibility for where we stand. We are a pretty big company these days, and with the market position that we have, I think it's very important that we also cooperate with other peer-to-peer and crowdfunding players. As you know, there's a lot of crowdfunding and peer-to-peer players around in Europe, and there is room for everyone. The market is big, so it's no problem. I welcome everyone that wants to establish their business, but please, what I want to make sure is they playing the right rules. The right rules for me is that we are moving in the same direction, that we are playing the same rules when it comes to credit scoring, when it comes to understanding their write-offs, etc., etc. As you might know, we have acquired a couple of companies under our way, actually 4. When we acquire companies, of course, we look into them first, and you would understand that we have looked into more than 2 companies or 4 companies, of course. And there is a concern. There is a concern out there because I think it's very important that we stay on the same side, that we do understand where we are, that we do understand the risk that we are running. Because if we not do this in a proper way and a sustainable way, we can risk that there will pop up companies that doesn't have the same attention as we do. What is actually peer-to-peer? Peer-to-peer is people lending money to people. What about institutional capital? What about moms and pops money? What I think is important also when we're talking about crowdfunding or peer-to-peer, I heard the the discussions here when you were sitting in the end, and I was thinking there was a question regarding the license in Lithuania. And I was thinking immediately, is it because of the transport of the money, or is it because of the actually holding a platform which is a facilitator? Because this is definitions. There's always a solution, that is my opinion. But peer-to-peer, when it comes to being or establishing a platform where people are supposed to being able to borrow money to each other, I think it's very important to take that to its basic level. Because what we see, if you see the bigger players, especially if you go over to the US and maybe also some in the UK, you will see that there's a lot of money being put in, which is institutional capital. You actually will see that 70, 80, or also 90% in some cases, you have institutional capital lent out on the peer-to-peer platform. I think that a peer-to-peer platform, a true peer-to-peer platform, is a platform which has 90% moms and pops money being lent out. That's what's peer-to-peer, and that's the strength in peer-to-peer. I don't have the time now. How much time do I have? A couple of minutes. Okay. So, yeah, crowdfunding contributes to growth. It does. We do that every day. And we have a huge response on our platform. And Trustbuddy is now moving forward. We are today in these 10 markets divided into short-term products, which is like short-term lending, consumer loans. And we also do have the long-term loans, which is similar to Lending Club's model. And we do also have the SME or the crowdfunding platform. But we are now also moving into 4 new markets when it comes to SME. And what I want to urge, what I really want to emphasize in this crowd, in this community, in this market, in all European markets, is that we stand together. Because no one will remember what we did last week. No one will remember what we did last year, but they will see what we are doing moving forward. So again, I just want to say that I want to urge all the peer-to-peer companies, and I think it's very good to see that we are getting associations around, and I want us to move together. That's pretty much what I want to say. Thank you.